Hello, everybody. It's me, Cranky Hornhelm, of course. And I'm here again with a presentation from the Dwarven Vault. And today we're going to talk about an important subject, and that's what's not to like about romantasy in Dungeons and Dragons. Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, initially, other than everything. The game is Dungeons and Dragons. Romantasy is the focus, then romance becomes the focus of a fantasy setting. It's the main plot and story. In Dungeons and Dragons, I heard about this recently and I'd never experienced it before, and I was surprised by what I found out. That romantasy is kind of a thing. A very fringe thing, but it's part of Dungeons and Dragons. Where people play scenarios where characters are falling for each other. And not because they have a dagger in their back. I was shocked, I tell you. But this game has been changing ever since it came out. That doesn't seem to be very well in line with Dungeons and Dragons. Well, I don't know, depending on the romantasy, maybe the dungeon part, I'm not sure, but dragon, well, maybe it's the dragons to interspecies. Oh my lord! What about the dragon caca? Now, that's fine if you want to do a fantasy role-playing game that's based on romance and makes that its primary plot within the game. But I'm not going to be a participant of that. This is Dungeons and Dragons. It's go through dungeons, kill bad guys, help the good guys win, get lots of treasure, rescue the princess, things like that. Whatever romance there is in it is definitely secondary to other issues that are part of the plot, right? I mean, really, if you're doing a romantasy within the context of Dungeons and Dragons, in principle, I guess there's nothing wrong with it, but it is a fantasy game and you can go whatever direction you want to. But I have to say, it makes me feel like kind of oily, dirty. The idea just does not appeal. So, what did I find out? I mean that this really does exist. There are people who enjoy that aspect of Dungeons and Dragons. Not that that was an aspect that any of the founders had ever even remotely considered at the time the game was made, but that's okay. I'll stick with Dungeons and Dragons and not the romantasy part. But hey, that's me. I'm not going to give you anything other than the straight scoop. As far as Cranky is concerned, romantasy has its own thing, but it shouldn't be part of the Dungeons and Dragons thing. That's just me. So what's not to like about romantasy in Dungeons and Dragons? Well, as far as I'm concerned, pretty much everything. The most romantic I want to get in this game is patting the barbarian on the butt for doing a good job in slaying 40 orcs. That's it. So, if you agree, well, then you're probably a right-thinking person. If you disagree, well, then you're probably not. But whatever it is, that's what I think, and I'm cranky, and you're not. And remember, dwarves rock.